Better get the coleslaw, y'all, cause we're having us a barbecue.
Now available in paperback and e-readers, The Temptation of John Haynes. Given to temptation, pick up this action-packed African-American paranormal romance. Get The Temptation of John Haynes in paperback and e-readers today. Rapper Ice Cube betrayed the black community and showed black people his true colors when he decided to have a sit-down interview with former Fox News host Tucker Carlson. Now, according to Ice Cube, he says that he had to have a sit-down interview with Tucker Carlson because those on the left, like Oprah Winfrey and the host of The View, have blacklisted him.
But I've been excluded on Oprah, you know.
On Oprah?
On Oprah, yeah, I've been excluded. Yeah, man.
I would think you'd be the person Oprah would want to promote. I mean, you grew up in South Central, you were successful at a young age, you have dignity, you say what you think. Like, I thought that was the goal.
Me too. You know, I don't know what it is, but, you know, several of my, you know, I had a movie called Barbershop, you know.
Yeah, I remember.
That I wasn't invited to participate with the cast.
Now, I have to call BS on that whole talking point, and I call BS on that whole talking point because Oprah Winfrey has not had a television show in over 15 years, and the host of The View, basically, while they are left-leaning, possibly would have definitely given Ice Cube a forum. And that's why I call BS on that. But the real reason I call BS on that whole argument is because Ice Cube could have easily gone out here and reached out to the voices of new black media. Now, the voices of new black media have had a major impact on the entire political discourse over the last 15 years, and one of those voices that had the biggest impact I have seen so far as related to why so many black people walked away from the Blue Plantation was the late Michael Carroll. Now, the late Michael Carroll, who was called David Carroll on YouTube, had a tremendous impact on everyone when he made his classic masterpiece, No Hope, No Change for the Negro. And when he made that classic masterpiece, No Hope, No Change for the Negro, that video basically started, as I see it, the change as related to black people's perceptions of politics overall. Because that's the video that I believe got a lot of black people thinking critically about the Blue Party as related to electing its first black president and seeing that that first black president was nothing more than an empty suit. And when I think about other voices on new black media that have had an impact, I also think about Jason Black, also known as The Business, who has had a tremendous impact with things like billboards and also going out here and interviewing candidates like Marcel Dixon, who was running against Jim Clyburn. I think about the impact that Jason Black has had as related to the political discourse, and you would think that Ice Cube would have contacted him instead of Tucker Carlson. And I also think about Professor Black Truth, who also has made an inroads as related to the political discourse with his discussion of tangibles and bringing up the talking point of tangibles. Again, when I think of having an impact on the political discourse, you would think that Ice Cube would have been a bit more forward thinking in looking to contact the voices of new black media. No, he didn't really care about looking to have that inroads, because what Ice Cube basically was looking to do was he was looking to try to clout chase with white supremacy, and he was looking to try to find himself a nice place where he could go out here and lick the boots of white supremacists like Tucker Carlson and try to show them that he could go out here and shine those boots up and have them looking extra shiny. That's what Ice Cube was doing when he decided to go out here and have this interview with Tucker Carlson. He was looking to try to find a space for himself where he could go out here and pander to a new group of white paymasters in an effort to try to covertly interview for his next job. Because again, I asked the critical question, why didn't Ice Cube go out here and contact the voices of new black media, the voices of new black media which have been having an impact on the black masses, have been having an impact on the black voting bloc, and have been making real change? Why didn't Ice Cube contact the voices of new black media if he was serious about getting some sort of change? And this is where a lot of black people don't really see where Ice Cube had already sold us out, not in 2020 when he went out here looking to try to campaign for Donald Trump. No, Ice Cube had sold us out over 30 years ago, way back in 1988, when he was recording the record Straight Outta Compton for his white paymasters. That's when Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, Eazy-E, and all of the members of the Minstrels with Attitude went out here and made their first compromise with white supremacy, because they wanted to be the frontmen of rap music as the white folks in the entertainment industry looked to co-opt the narrative of rap music. Now, when rap music was controlled by black men, it was a positive music form, and it was extremely positive, and we got a whole host of diversity of styles as related to rap music. But these bootlicks in the NWA, because they wanted to get an extra butter biscuit or an extra piece of cornbread from the white supremacist paymasters, decided to go out here and decided to co-opt the entire narrative by going out here and producing that Straight Outta Compton CD. That's what they did back then, and that's what Ice Cube is looking to do right now. And he was looking to do this in 2020 because what he wanted to do in 2020 was he wanted to go out here and try to get in front of black people with his contract with Black America. Now, a lot of black people thought, oh, Ice Cube is all about helping black people because he was looking to have a meeting with Donald Trump or Joe Biden as related to his contract with Black America. But back in 2020, I could easily see the hustle that Ice Cube was playing. Unfortunately, when I made those videos calling out Ice Cube, I got attacked by people in the comment sections of those videos, and I got attacked so much that I basically had to take those videos down because people were just going berserk in the comment section. And the main reason why they were going berserk in the comment section was because most black people, sadly, are spellbound by celebrities, and because they are spellbound by celebrities, they want to fit into the black box that's acceptable to white people. And because they want to fit into that black box that's acceptable to white people, what they do is whenever they hear a celebrity saying something, they go out here and create a covert contract where they believe if they go along with that celebrity, they will possibly get some white acceptance. And that's what happened in the case of Ice Cube in 2020. I could easily see that he was looking to go out here and get in front of black people and trying to go out here and call himself being our representative. And that's where a lot of people didn't really see the subtle politics transpiring around them as related to Ice Cube. Because like the late Michael Carroll, who was called David Carroll on YouTube, used to say that when it comes to politics, we need to be the ones who go out here and hammer out our agenda, and we need to be the ones who represent our agenda. Moreover, he was the one who also said we need to pick our candidates, and this is why I saw Ice Cube as suspect, because whenever a celebrity looks to get in front of black people and looks to appoint themselves a leader, they're not looking to act in black people's best interests. No, they are looking to act in their own interests. And now we see that Ice Cube really wasn't looking to act in our best interests. No, he was looking to go out here and act in his own best interest, and he was looking to go out here and look to become one of these black bootlicks who was a part of the buffer class, one of these black bootlicks who was looking to go out here and gain favor with white supremacy, looking to go out here and tell the black masses what they want to hear, and going out here promoting the message like old Jim Clyburn, talking about, well, we need to wait on certain issues, we need to wait on getting tangibles, we need to wait on demanding things in exchange for our vote. This is the message that Ice Cube looks to go out here and promote as he becomes a part of the bootleg class. And Ice Cube basically showed me that he's on the road to becoming a part of the bootleg class, because when I listened to the talking points he was presenting as related to him sitting with Tucker Carlson, they are a complete 180 from many of the positions he used to talk about when he was out here being a gangster rapper. For example, we had Ice Cube, who used to be all about F the police, and we see him now sitting there talking about the police, and he's going along with the message of the Red Party, talking about, oh, they have a job, they're just trying to get through a day. And I want you to notice the way Ice Cube is talking to Tucker Carlson about these police. I mean, it really makes you shake your head, because it shows you that Ice Cube basically it has become a complete buck dancer at this point.
Everything else, people's rights, doing things the right way, being totally fair and square all the time and not, being a little aggressive, all that comes second to win the encounter, make it home at night. And you can't really fault somebody for thinking that way as a police officer, but that's the philosophy.
Now I want you to listen to the tone of Ice Cube's voice in that portion of the interview. Now, if you notice, Ice Cube, his voice has gotten a lot softer, and it's making me think that he's looking to try to make himself appear to be a bit more docile and submissive in the presence of all of these whites on the far right, who oftentimes look to condone the actions of many of the rogue police officers and race soldiers who look to terrorize black people. And when I listen to Ice Cube talking like this, it basically shows me that Ice Cube has gone from being an ice cube to a snow cone, and he's looking to try to soften his image in an effort again to try to win the favor and approval on those racists on the far right, instead of looking to go out here and stand up for things that are important to foundational black Americans, like looking to get real police reform as related to dealing with these rogue police officers and these race soldiers who have infiltrated police departments all across the country. This basically shows me that Ice Cube has really come a long way in betraying his beliefs from the days of F the police to, oh, I'm just trying to let everybody know that police officers are trying to get through a day. Well, you can get through a day without going out here and brutalizing foundational black Americans. You can get through a day without racially profiling foundational black Americans. You can get through a day without being a terror squad for foundational black Americans, because enforcing the law is not about looking to go out here and target one group and say that we are the face of crime, when the FBI statistics show a completely different story. That's where Ice Cube basically shows me that he's not about looking to get black people tangibles as related to justice, but is just looking to get a tangible seat as a part of the buffer class, and looking to gain the approval of the buffer class, and doing things to try to make it look like he can go out here and say the things that many of the white supremacists want to hear. That's what he's doing in this part of the interview. And this part of the interview just shows me that Ice Cube has turned into a snow cone, and he's turned into a snowman looking to go out here and buck dance and bojangle for white supremacy. Because this whole, when I look at his demeanor, his body language, his facial expressions, they show me nothing but weakness, and show me that your so-called gangster rapper ain't nothing but a sellout, no different than Jay-Z, or your Curtis 50 Cent Jackson Esquire. All of these guys who are so-called talking about the streets and talking about how real they are show me how much of a real sellout they are. And when Ice Cube starts to talk about race, he really shows me that he really isn't about looking to help black people at all.
You haven't mentioned race a single time. We've mentioned economics, rich and poor, a number of times. Do you think that we overplay the role of racial conflict in American life?
Yes. I think race, it takes up too much space. There's people that we all have in our lives who are same race that we can't stand. And there's people in our lives from other races that we get along with way better. So it's not about race. It's not about color and gender and this and that. It's about who do you connect with? You know, who do you vibrate with? You know what I mean? Who's on the same wavelength? Who wants to be the same kind of person? Who wants to do the right thing when you want to do the right thing?
Now I'm gonna have to call BS on that statement by Ice Cube, who tries to say that it's not about race. When it comes down to white supremacy, it's always about race. And it's always about race as related to economics, because white supremacy makes most of its money by oppressing black people. When it comes to white supremacy, they make their money by keeping black people at the bottom of the world. And as long as they keep black people at the bottom of their world, that's how they go out here and can profit from taking 97% of black dollars out of the black community and enriching themselves at our expense. So when Ice Cube sits here and says, oh, it's not about race, no, it's always been about race from day one for the white supremacist. It's always been about race, and it's always about making sure that black people stay at the bottom so that they don't have to compete against black people. Because if most of these white folks out here and these non-blacks had to compete against an actual black economy that was on the level of China or Japan, there's no way they could compete as related to that economy. And that's the thing that makes it always about race. It's always about race, because as long as black people are at the bottom, the system of white supremacy can benefit at our expense, and that system can go out here and can continue to go on, because if black people have been conditioned to believe that they are less than, they can go out here and look to buy into that system to gain favor and approval. And that is the great irony of what Ice Cube is presenting as related to this talking point. He's saying it's not about race, but you're sitting right in front of a white supremacist looking for validation and approval from him, showing me how spellbound Ice Cube is. Because as I stated before earlier in this video, if he was all about black empowerment, he could have easily gone out here and contacted somebody from New Black Media. He could have gone out here and gotten his message out there in New Black Media, similar to what Marcel Dixon, the congressional candidate, did. I mean, Marcel Dixon, when he went out here looking to campaign against Jim Clyburn, the first place he went was new black media. He went talking to Jason Black. He went talking to people in new black media because he wanted to go out here and create a campaign as related to black empowerment. He wanted to go out here and reach out to black people, but Ice Cube shows me that he's not about looking to reach out to black people. No, he basically wants to go out here and say, oh, it's not about race. Again, trying to appeal to those individuals on the far right, hoping to let them know that he's going to be a good boy who's going to go out here and toe their party line as he goes out here and toes water for them. That's what Ice Cube is doing here as he's sitting up here talking about, oh, it's not about race. That's some bullshit right there, because it's always about race when it comes to white supremacy. Like Professor Black Truth has said, white supremacy is hypersensitive, and this is why it's always about race for them, because they don't want to go out here and have to deal with black people getting power, and that's why they're always very vigilant as related to anybody who they perceive as a threat. And what Ice Cube is doing here is showing me that he's about as threatening as Steve Urkel in a room full of bodybuilders. I mean, this guy is just so weak at this point. And again, when he sits there and says that it's not about race, it's showing me that we need to race for the exits and get away from this snow cone of an Ice Cube that is basically evaporated as related to substance. Because Ice Cube basically has shown us all that he is not about looking to empower black people. Yes, he tells black people not to go out here and vote for the Blue Party, but he's not really showing that he's interested in creating a platform for black empowerment. And this is what Malcolm talked about as related to these celebrities. These black celebrities really are not looking to act in our best interest, and they're not looking to act in our best interest because they get most of their bread and their butter from that entertainment industry, which is the media arm of white supremacy. So when you hear one of these celebrities coming out and speaking as related to politics, you really have to, again, give them a side eye, because anyone who knows the subtle politics transpiring around them like I do understands that if a celebrity is out here pitching on a political platform, that platform is definitely going to be an anti-black platform, because if this individual was out here pitching for black people, they would not have a voice on those mainstream media platforms, because to have that black person on those media platforms speaking for black people would be diametrically opposed to the narratives of white supremacy. And that's the first of the red flags I saw way back in 2020 when Ice Cube was coming out here saying, oh, he was supporting Donald Trump's platinum plan. That's when I saw the first red flag, because I said to myself, you know, if this guy was about black empowerment, he would not be sending out proposals to Donald Trump and Joe Biden. No, he would be out here reaching out to the black grassroots, and he would be reaching out to the black grassroots looking to go out here and work with the entire black community towards hammering out a black agenda. And he would be working with all of the members of the black community to go out here and look to create that black agenda. And after he finished working with them towards hammering out that agenda, he would be out here looking to go out here and pick our own candidates. Because that's how you gain power in the political process. You don't gain power in the political process picking hand-picked candidates that are given to you, like we did with Barack Obama in 2008, or what Ice Cube was trying to do with Donald Trump and Joe Biden. No, you get real political power by going out here and, one, getting all of the community involved in creating your agenda, and then going out here and picking your candidates, and then sending your candidates to represent you. And then as your candidates represent you and your agenda, they are supposed to be the ones that bring the tangibles back in terms of earmarks and government money. And if they don't go out here and do this, what you do is hold them accountable by not picking them to be your representatives in the next election. This is something that the late Michael Carroll, who was known as David Carroll, pointed out multiple times in many of his classic masterpieces, but sadly this flew over the heads of most black people as they got starstruck and spellbound by Ice Cube in 2020. And in 2023, before we have the 2024 elections, what Ice Cube is showing me is his, not only him being a political novice, but also showing me his true colors. Now, as Ice Cube shows us his true colors, what he's doing is showing us that he's not somebody we can go out here and trust as related to politics. And again, Brother Malcolm, when he was alive, warned us about these celebrities, and we see a textbook reason why we can't trust celebrities like an Ice Cube as related to politics. No, when it comes to politics, we need to be the ones who speak on our own behalf, and we cannot trust celebrities to speak for us, because if you're working for that system of the media arm of white supremacy, you're not going to go out here and speak for our interests. No, you're going to try to speak for interests that benefit you, and this is why we need to separate ourselves from these entertainers and look to go out here and create our own political platform, because we are the only ones who can speak for ourselves. That's what I made a point in the videos that I was forced to delete. We are the only ones who can go out here and speak for ourselves. We are the only ones who can go out here and speak for our political interests. We cannot go out here and stand behind entertainers, athletes, and celebrities. These people are not qualified to speak on our behalf as related to our political issues. These people cannot speak for us because they've already been compromised, and we need to start getting some backbone and some stones and start looking to get our voice out there, because the big problem I see with black people is they get caught up in celebrity and think because a celebrity is popular, that amplifies their voice and that they're speaking for us. But it's clear to me from the emerging bootlicks like Ice Cube, Greasy, known as Jay-Z, Curtis 50 Cent Jackson Esquire, and your Kanye West, that these rappers are not looking to go out here and wrap up tangibles for black people. No, what they're looking to do is wrap up a seat at the table of white supremacy and be the black overseer who looks to oppress us and stick us in the black box that's acceptable to white people, and have us living a second-class life where they can go out here and reap benefits at our expense. That's what it's looking like to me as related to Ice Cube and all of these other rappers. They really are not looking to empower black people, and we need to take our power by cutting off all contact with these bootlicks in training, and cut off all contact with these bootlicks in training, and let them know that if you want to gain any sort of thing from the black community, you are not going to get it from us if you're allied with white supremacy, and you can go out here and get your bread and your biscuits from the white supremacists you look to go out here and make deals with. You can go out here and get all of that from them, but you're not getting anything from us, because once we see you as a traitor, we're going to turn our backs on you. And that's what black people need to do with Ice Cube. Now that he's out here with Tucker Carlson, we need to leave him at the tender mercies of white supremacy, the way we need to do with Kanye West and Greasy and the other, and Curtis 50 Cent Jackson Esquire. We need to leave all of these individuals to the tender mercies of white supremacy, because if they're all about supporting the white supremacists, they're not about looking to empower black people. Now, if you want to pick up some of my positive black fiction on the SJS Direct imprint, like the ISIS series, the Esteem series, the John Haynes series, the books of the Spinsterella trilogy, my novel, the sorority novel, The Thetas, and my vampire novel, Eternal Night, you can find all those books on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find them at other online booksellers like Smashwords, the iBookstore, and Google Play. And if you want to see me make more videos like this, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers. Spellbound, A Darker Shade of Black. Get your copy today at your favorite online bookseller. Now available in paperback and e-readers. John Haynes, 1987. Learn lessons about life and teenage love in the 1980s in this coming-of-age John Haynes story. Get your copy of John Haynes, 1987 in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Support Black-owned and Black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.